I was like, bro, I think I'm dying. And he's like, I know. And I just remember like the thought of, can this hurry up? Because of the life that I've lived, it's not many people that has survived from the same situation.
Wesley Hamilton from Kansas City, Missouri, shares how he survived getting shot twice and how he turned his trauma into purpose.
Prior to my injury, I was just a product of my environment. I grew up thinking I would be dead or in jail by the age of 21, so I lived that way. I didn't understand like the value of like school. I didn't understand the value of like community because like there just wasn't any like leadership around me, centered around me, or anyone to kind of pour into me to make me feel like I was more than a circumstance. I think back then the mindset was very negative because like as a young black man, I really felt the effect of the world against you. I don't know, I had a chip on my shoulder.
On January 14th, 2012, 24-year-old Wes went to speak with an ex-girlfriend.
I don't know what in me just said, you know what, Wes, you should just go over there and have a conversation. I witnessed the individual I used to date and another individual going into the home. And we had just broken up. I was bothered, right? She comes out, we're kind of going back and forth. The person that I witnessed her going into the home with never came outside during this altercation. A lot of back and forth, a lot of emotions running. I remember just in the moment pointing to the individual in the house because he was looking out of a window and just kind of telling him come outside. I call a friend because again, I feel vulnerable. Like I needed extra protection. I'm thinking, oh, this is about to be squashed. So I remember the guy finally coming outside. Guy was like, I don't know what this is about, but I'm getting up out of here. Frankly, I thought it was over. And I walked back to my vehicle. And in this moment, like life flashed in front of me. There was a sound, and the reaction of my body was to turn toward that noise. I see a new individual, someone I've never seen at all, holding a gun. And the moment that I'm looking at them is the moment they shoot me the second time. And in that moment, I collapse. I definitely went in shock. I'm thinking I'm dying. I did not have a thought of help. I was not mad that I was dying. I accepted death because I already thought that I would be dead or in jail by 21. I had a thought of anger because I was upset that I just got custody of my daughter and I couldn't be a father. And I dropped to the ground. There was an instant shootout. So my friend and the individual are now going back and forth, and I have no way to move. Like my body was really still. It was like a movie, you know. I remember just everybody coming around me, rushing around me, and I looked up at my friend. I remember just telling them like I can't feel my legs, and I do think that I'm dying.
Wes was shot twice in his abdomen, which caused a T11, T12 incomplete spinal cord injury.
I looked at the doctor, they're asking me my name, and I remember the only response I had was help me. I woke up in the hospital with family and friends around me, and at that moment starting to understand that I was alive but wasn't well.
He had surgery to get the bullets removed.
The medical process was the most traumatizing process for me. I wasn't able to speak. I think my mom and my dad knew I was paralyzed, but I was never told that. I believed that I was going to walk again. It was just coming with time. And so I couldn't accept what was really happening. It took about 2 weeks before I was told that I would never walk again. And I remember boo-hoo crying. It was like, you'll never walk again, and you can't jump, you can't run, you can't do this, you can't raise your daughter you just got custody of. You're gonna be dependent, you're not independent anymore. So all of these things start rushing through my head. I had been independent for so long, and now I'm in this place where mom and dad are telling me like, oh, we gotta give up your apartment and you gotta move back home.
Reality set in about what he'd gone through.
Because I was cared for so well in the hospital, my reality check didn't happen until the first day that I left. I had an accident on myself getting out the car. And I remember that was the day that I knew that life was different. My life got a little bit more worse before it got better. So when you don't accept, you find yourself just sitting in it. And so I just sat in it. And I was in pain a lot. And I was on a lot of meds. And I just sat in it. I felt really bad about myself. I'm a fly guy. I feel like I am. And I was a fly guy before my injury. But then like having swollen feet, couldn't put on the shoes that I wanted to. So everything declined.
Wes got a pressure ulcer, had several more surgeries, and had a colostomy. He was on bed rest for a couple years.
I hated it. I hated life for what it was. I had nights of beating my legs up just because I was like, I was sad, I was depressed, and like no one just told me that there was better. I was defeated. But there was a moment, right? So the moment was I made a commitment to be a father. So even though I'm at the lowest point of my life in this moment, I'm still a father. So every day that I'm defeated, I have a child that is listening to defeat. I have a child that is embodying giving up, because that's what I'm doing every day. I'm hating the world for what happened to me and not blaming myself.
One day after a checkup, everything changed.
And I remember like getting back in my hospital chair, and my daughter just looked at me and she was like, "Dad, you know, are you getting in your Superman chair?" That was the moment that God spoke to me through my daughter to put a cape on me. I didn't care no more about how people saw me. But I had a 2-3-year-old daughter in front of me that saw more strength than anyone around me. I said, "So Doc, what can I do to I just want to be active. I want to be active as a father." And the doctor said, "Well, in order for you to get off bed rest, you need to add more protein to your diet." And I'm like, I don't know what that is. You know, like I grew up in, food deserts. I just did not know. I remember joking like, "Well, is that a double quarter pounder with cheese? Like, what is protein?"
Wes signed up for a dietitian course at a local community college.
I knew at this moment, if I want it bad enough, I need to figure it out. And if I don't know protein, I need to learn it. And if protein is the thing that's going to help me be a father and stay here, then I need to do it. I was overweight. I had always been overweight my whole life. At the time of my injury, I was about 250 pounds. I'm only 5'4". I remember being a size 42 pants, and at some point I'm in a 36 and still thinking that there's no way, right? And they have to weigh me before surgery, and it's the only time I get weighed. I get in this bed and I am 135 pounds. You want to know an aha moment for me? That was it. I had more joy and confidence than I think I had ever had in my life. Like at this moment, I don't see a problem with being paralyzed because I just did something I couldn't do walking. I am now empowered by my limitations because my limitations allowed me to remove the ones that was already instilled with me before I became physically limited. There was nothing going to stop me. No one could tell me that I could do this. I did it on my own. I was owning my own self-identity. I was owning my own reality. I started this saying, I said, I'm disabled, but not really. And I remember I that was literally like my affirmation in a sense in the hospital bed. I remember telling all the doctors, like, I'm disabled, but not really. And they're like, wow. I'm like, because the disability is what limited me. What do you consider now? Because I'm not limited no more. Like you might see me in this chair, you might see me in this bed, but you just don't know that I'm about to take off.
He got his first gym membership in 2015 and eventually got into adaptive athletics, adaptive CrossFit, and wheelchair bodybuilding.
Everything changed in life for me. I am more alive than I ever been. This is the time where now I'm on this self-reflection, this healing journey. I got featured in Men's Health magazine in 2017. The biggest milestone was me being featured in Kansas City newspaper, and I was on the front page climbing a rope in a wheelchair. I've never seen a positive black man on our newspaper, right? Yet alone having this full page spread. And I knew I was doing something, but I wasn't doing it for no one else. I was doing it for myself.
Wes's healing journey continued to evolve.
There's a journey to happiness because you have to take accountability. You have to fall in love with yourself, fall in love with all your flaws. I can't just be positive on the outside. I need to be on the inside, and I need to know how I can be forgiving. My affirmation was, the man that tried to take my life gave me life. The moment I believed in myself, I started to push myself, and I didn't see my limitations, and I started to believe like I was that vessel. I was the vessel to now change how people see disability. Just because something happens to you doesn't mean you have to own that circumstance. Like sometimes it's supposed to happen, but you look at life after. And so they always say, like, it's not about what happened to you, it's how you react to it.
Wes has created a nonprofit called Disabled But Not Really.
I needed to be the visual example of what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to serve. I'm living my purpose every day. I've served so much, I've accomplished so much, and but I now want to learn more. I'm not done, but I think that I'm on another phase of what I'm destined to do.
He even was able to come face to face with his shooter on the Netflix show Queer Eye.
We're doing something that they don't want us to do, and that is forgive each other, but also uplift each other. The man tried to take my life, gave me life. I got to sit across from him, like face to face, and tell him how grateful I was for the life that he gave me. I don't believe that I had ever seen Black men do that ever. And I think because the path that I'm on, I was able to be vulnerable enough to own not only my reality in my life, but understand that the circumstances I was in was definitely caused on to because of me. My actions and emotions played a major part of why I'm here. So it's rude of me to hold that to someone else for the rest of their life. And the moment that I got a chance to tell him that, I saw the weight lifted off of his shoulders, which ultimately freed me.
Wes does speaking engagements, consulting, is an advocate and mentor, and wants to continue on the path to bettering himself.
My name is Wesley Hamilton. Thank you for having me. Life is so good. I mean, I have my trials and tribulations. I'm not a perfect person, but every day I'm determined to figure out how I can better myself. I am an open-minded person, and I'm a student of life. I don't know anything, but I can learn it all. And as long as I can be an open book, I don't hold judgment or expectation to society or the world. But at the end of the day, no one is the same. So why should I fault myself for being different? When you do the work, you start to accept the things that create the mindset that you have if it's negative. So pain creates a negative mindset. Doing the internal work allows you to learn your pain. Doing the internal work allows you to learn your fears, right? You have to look in the mirror and see if you're proud of that. And if you're not proud of that, do the work to make yourself proud of who you are.
To support Wesley's nonprofit, visit disabledbutnotreally.org. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.